Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
When everybody's here, just let me know and we'll dive into permits.
Okay. I think there's like one or two more people coming on.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Building number.
2018, 1221. This one's here. All they have new is those three pictures that you have.
I got his numbers.
Okay.
Oh, good afternoon. Is that everyone now? Everybody able to see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay, so on permits today, do you all issue operational and construction permits?
Currently, we only do construction.
Okay. And the workflow for that is they apply, pay, do you plan review, issue the permit?
Apply, plan review, maybe a deposit, and then pay, and then issue the permit.
Okay. Now, is that permit contingent on an inspection, or do you issue the permit and then do an inspection at a later date?
Inspection at the later date.
Okay, perfect. And when you guys come in here into the permits module, the first tab you're going to see here is permits. This is where you can add or create permits. You can also create a permit from inspections as well. You can have permits linked into inspections and invoicing if you need to. The next tab here is going to be your plan review. And this is where you can create your plan review type and then allows you to associate that into the permit. So if you click on new plan review type here, let's say you're going to do a sprinkler system. This is where you can create those plan reviews and then pull them into those permits as needed. So which plan review would you like me to add here?
Fire sprinkler system.
And when you create it, that's just going to put it in here. And then now when we come down to permit type, we can create a permit type, and you're going to need to create a permit for each permit you want to issue out of our system. And kind of think of the permit types as similar to your inspection types. So we want to add a new permit type. Say we want this to be fire sprinkler. You just come in here and put in your permit name. And then you can choose on the permit class. Normally what's in here is operational, conditional, construction, things like that. But we can build this out in field management based on your needs. So let me get out of this. For some reason, this didn't deploy with the account. So we'll have to go down here in admin, go to field management, and we can actually add those classes in here based on your needs. Choose the IFC permit class, click apply, and then we can add them in here based on what you need. So you probably won't need a spot for operational if you're only going to do construction permits, right? So what permit classes would you like me to add?
I think if there's any, is
Condition.
there anything other than construction? I'm trying to think if there was anything.
This is normally what's deployed. So if you need construction annual, construction conditional.
I don't know how we would use those currently.
Okay, so is construction going to suit your needs?
I think so for now.
Okay. This is where you can always add additional if you need to. But now since we have that in the system, I come back to that permit type, and we want to add that new permit type. Type in your permit name. You can now choose construction. And then you can select your workflow. So if this is going to be a project, a standalone, or renewable.
What
Most
would
of your stuff.
What would standalone be like? Just sprinklers only? Like they were doing some work on a sprinkler system? Is that what that's kind of talking about?
Yeah, just maybe a like a remodel or an upgrade, just something standard, or you can have like a project or renewable is going to be that's going to be something that needs to be renewed on an annual cycle every 6 months, 5 years, something like that.
Got it.
So if this is going to be a project, this is where you may need to create multiple different sprinkler permits, because potentially you may need to do each of these or just project and standalone. This allows you to customize those permits to meet your needs. And then if you need default durations in days or years, if you choose days, you can take it all the way up to 364 days. Or you can choose years here and put in as many years as you need. And if you don't need to have any default duration days, you can always leave this on 0 and then choose it when you're going to approve the permit. So do you need any default duration days or years in here?
No, not currently.
Okay. The permit status is going to be active. We have the sign or fill option. You can put in internal notes here if you need to. And then under responses here, this is if you need to have a given deadline. You say yes here. Maybe the initial submission is 3 days, but a resubmission is 5 days. You can build out a deadline here, and you can also include additional days for a plan review. Now, if you don't need to have a given deadline, you can just put these on no. That's not built in there. But if you need it, just say yes and you can build it out.
No, we don't need it right now.
Options here, if you're going to do a plan review for this permit, you toggle this on, and since we created that plan review by name, we can associate it with this. You can also associate an inspection if you need to, and then you would pick the inspection type that you would use for that. Now, this is only if you want to be able to schedule that inspection within that permit. A lot of times departments just want to issue the permit, and then whenever that contractor or service provider is going to need that inspection, they'll call you at that date, and you can always schedule it at that time. So you don't
Oh.
have to use this here. It's just an option.
Okay.
Just like this here, if you're going to bill for the permit, the inspection, or the plan review, you would toggle this on, and then you can create that invoice within this permit. So if you want to have that ability to create the invoice within the permit, we turn it on. If you don't, we can just leave it so you create the invoice within the invoicing module.
I would say leave it on. I think we can hopefully try to bill out of this.
Okay. Now, custom data fields, this is where you can add custom questions, just like on the inspection checklist. So if you want to build out something specific, let's say maybe they need to have a certificate of insurance. You can just come in here and say, do they have, COI? They have a contractor's license. Do they have, whatever you may require, you can build these out. And then you can choose what kind of response you want to have. Is it yes or no? Put in a time, single select, rich text, numeric, multi-select, free text, date, currency, checkbox. You can even make these required. If you have Community Connect or the business portal, you could turn this on and it would be visible on that end. You can add additional, but if you don't need any of this, you don't have to create these out. This is just an option in here if you need it. But if you make it required, it means you have to respond to it when you're going to issue the permit. Now the forms here, you have to associate the form with it. And this is usually a 1-for-1, unless you're going to do a generic form for all of your construction permits. But if you want specifics, you're probably going to have to build a permit form for each of your permit types. If you want to have automation with this, you would enable this here. And now you can build out the criteria. The first option here is you can link an invoice to this permit by toggling this on. Or you can have the permit that's a part of an inspection linked to an invoice. This is an and feature here. You can say and. You save this. So if you had a permit that was based on your inspection, you can tell the system when there's no longer a fail, a citation, or a fail in a citation, then the permit could be generated and sent out. And if you're not going to do that workflow, which it doesn't sound like you all are going to, you can just turn that off. But once they pay, you can come in here and turn this on, and now you can allow for automation to send out that permit once it's been approved. Or you can toggle that off. And if you don't want to have any of this automation here, you can just completely turn it off. Now, if you all are going to configure that email in the inspection, You can put that email in here. If not, you're going to need to use the default email, which is the no reply. Nobody monitors it. Put up in the junk folder of the recipient. And then this would be the little caption that goes out with that email. You can come in here and edit it so they know why they're receiving that email and how they need to get a hold of you if you want to use this. You can customize it by these options. The user portal, this is if you have Community Connect or the business portal. You currently don't, but if you ever add it, I'm just going to show you, you can either have it go to business owners, commercial properties, homeowners, tenants, renters, or those contractors can apply the AHJ requesting a permit. But when you enable that, you can allow them to upload an attachment at the time. You can also make it required. You can include an attachment, and you can kind of spell out the process. And then somebody on your end they would be notified in the system, you know, they're requesting this permit at the following address. Now you currently don't have those. I'm just showing you how it works. So I'm going to deactivate it so you don't wonder why there's a user portal. Then when you're done, you save it, and now you have a permit type in your system, which would allow you to issue this permit. So any additional permits that need to be built out, that's how you build them out in here. You can also come over here and just clone this one. When you make a clone of it, you can relabel it. You know, maybe you need one for a fire alarm and it fits the same criteria. You can just keep cloning and getting those permits in here as needed. Any questions on the permit types?
I don't have any.
None here.
Coming down here to permit status, this is only for manually statusing. And I would have to turn this on the back end, and it gets rid of any automation within our system. So it kind of defeats the purpose. This is not a normal use case for most departments. They do not manually status. Now the multi-permit form here, this would be available after you conduct an inspection. If you wanted to issue multiple permits on that address, after you complete your inspection, you can use the multi-permit form. And then this would give multiple permits for that one address. And I generally only see this on a use case of departments that do an annual inspection, and then they're going to issue those operational permits. So this probably would not be a use case for you all.
No, currently no.
Okay. How it works though is you want to upload your logo and text here. We would upload your image in here. Whatever you add here, you can view on the right side. So whatever gets inputted here, you get to view on the right-hand side. Come in here and make changes if you ever use it. You can tell the system whatever your information you need in here. If you make any changes, please save it. And then we're down to the form builder, right? You create those permit types so you can issue a permit. They have to populate on the form. Giving you the permit form here, you can edit it, you can duplicate it, and you can delete it out of the system. So if you click on the edit pencil here, you can always relabel this. Maybe you just want it to say construction. You can put that in there. You can put in internal notes if you all need it. I have your logo loaded. You can always click the edit pencil here and edit any of this information. Please save it. And currently how it works, it's going to pull the name of that permit type in here. We're pulling in the permit number, the date range, the permit status. Maybe you want some additional here. Click on these 6 dots. Click on the plus. You can pull in some additional information here if you need to. Or you can delete it with clicking the X. Same thing down here. You want to add some more information in here. 6 dots, click the plus. You can pull in additional information if you need to. Not, click the X, it's gone. Permit contacts we're pulling in here. These are the options. Department contact, if they have their information in here and then these are checked, their information would populate here. Same thing with the permit contact, vendor contact. And if you don't need any of some of these, you can always just delete them off the form. They're only going to populate if you add them into the permit. Whoever's signing for the permit would populate here. This is if you want to use HTML coding, but you can always click on the 6 dots. You can convert it to something else. You can move it up in the form or down in the form, or you can click on the plus here and you can pull in additional information here if you need to. If you make any changes, please make sure you save it. And does anybody have any questions on the form builder here on getting your permit edited or your form for your permit edited?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, when you're ready to issue a permit, you can click on permit here. Click new permit. If the address is in your occupancy record, you can type it in and it'll pull up. You can select it. The application date is always going to go to the current date. But let's say you actually really received this on last Friday. You can always pull that date back if you need to. You can choose your permit type. You can put some notes in here if you need to. Click save. That's going to take you into the edit permit window. This is a fire sprinkler permit. The system has created a permit number for you. If you want to add a project name to it, you can. Want to add in your reference ID, you can. You can even assign this to somebody. The occupancy record is the same one that's in pre-plan and inspections. So if you need to update it, you can come in here and make changes to it. Contacts here, if there was already a contact, you can use that contact. Or if you need to add a specific contact for the permit, you can click add here. And you can just add in that specific permit contact, click save. Maybe it's a vendor, like a fire protection system. Company, you can click here on add vendor. If you've already built them out in your vendor directory, you can pull them in by their name or address here. Now the review tab. If you want to document some project description information, you can always put that in here. You can also use this plan review. And you toggle this to yes. This allows you to document those plan reviews. You can now click add. Select the plan review you did. You can even assign it to somebody. You can put in the receive date. You can put in your completed date. and the time you spent on this plan review. Maybe you spent 4 or 5 hours and 45 minutes. Click save here. You can also come over here and click on drop files here, but if you click on that, you can upload an attachment to document that plan review or your conditions of approval. Approve with the following. You can upload that here. And I'm just going to grab a random one here to show you that it uploads. Since we turned on invoicing in that permit type, you can come in here and you can add new, and you could actually create an invoice for this permit if you need to. You just choose which fee item. Just going to grab a random one here, click apply, pulls in that fee line item. I can just save that. Or if you wanted to send the invoice out from here, you can just hit print send here. You can either print this up or you can send out the email. Now you can change this quantity because this is based on every 1,000 square feet. So maybe it's 10,000 square feet. Right, you can put your quantity in here, make your changes. It'll do the math for you. So however you need to use it, check the box, save it. That invoice here is now a part of your permit. If you've created custom data fields, I made this required, I have to respond to it. Signatures, this is optional for them. For you all, you can fill in your signature. Permit form is going to populate. You notice on the permit form, there's no effective date, and it's held in review. The reason being is nobody's approved this permit yet. You can also reject a permit, say who it's rejected by, put in a reason for the rejection, check here, click submit. They would see that reason when the email goes out for the rejection. You can also close a permit and think of that as archiving it. And you can link a permit. You can link it to an inspection by clicking on the chain link if you need to. Or you can link it to an invoice if you already had an invoice created. Or you can unlink it if you have an invoice linked to it. But when you're ready to approve it, click approve. Who is it approved by? Now maybe you're approving it today, but you don't want it to take effect till next Friday. You can always pick that date if you need to. And then right here, since there's no days or years, maybe this is good for 180 days. You can add 180 days here. It'll pick the correct calendar date. Or you can just choose the calendar date based on your needs. You can also say it's valid until it's revoked. You can put in some comments here if you need to. When you click submit, that's going to change the status of the permit. Now an active permit, I'm just going to motivate the system. Now we can see an effective date range and it's active. And if you want to include the attachment you uploaded, you can select here. You can choose the attachment, click save. Now, when you hit send, you're going to send out that permit and that attachment to the recipient. You can also print this up. This is currently how the permit is configured. And this is what you'd be sending out if you're going to issue this permit. The history tab down here, this has been tracking everything. You know, I'm logged in as the admin person, but whoever the user would be would have their name here. But this is where you can kind of track what's going on with it and where it's at. You're all done. You can save it. You can also revoke a permit if you need to. Just who's revoking it, document a reason why. You can also give an extension on the permit. Just give approving that, put in your notes. But when you're done, you can save it, close it. Your permit would be in here. See the address, what permit it is, the status of it. When does it expire? Your effective and your expiration date. And that's how you can use the permitting module here. Any questions on that? Okay, now would you all like me to show you how you can issue a permit during an inspection if you need that workflow?
Yes, please.
Okay. Coming up here to the inspections. Say we already have an inspection scheduled. You can just use one of these, or if they call you and say, hey, we want to, at the end of the month, we need an inspection. You can also just come in here and schedule that inspection. Type in your address. I want to continue with my current one here, so I'm going to choose the inspection type I would want to use. I can assign it to whomever, but when I save it, I could even pick the different date if I needed to, but I can start that inspection. Come in here, I do my inspection, add my contacts, answer my responses here. But here in the permits, I can now click on new permit. Or if I already have a permit in the system and I want to issue that. So if you just want to use this one, you can just select it here. You can issue that permit. Or if you need to create a new one, you can just click new permit. And you're going to walk through the exact same process. That I just showed you. It's going to take you to that window. You just go through here and issue the permit the exact same way I showed you. Save it. If you answer the required question. You close it, it's going to take you back into that inspection. Now the inspection and the permit are together. You can link it and come down to your signatures. They can sign. Fill in your signature. The inspection report's going to populate. This right here is where we can tell the system you want to include link reports. You have the first option here is if you want to use that multi-permit form. If you don't, you can just say link the permit, see which permit is linked. And when you're ready, you can complete it. That's going to give you the option. You will be able to email out your inspection report and your permit because we have it linked here and we've told the system to include it. Click send. And that would send out the inspection report and that permit in one email. You can also link these to a permit, or you can unlink it. You can link it to an invoice or unlink it. And you can also create an invoice within your inspection as well, if need be. Now, no matter where you create that permit, it's always going to come back to your permit here. You're going to see them populate in here. So I created the first one in the permit module. I created the second one in the inspection. But they're both here. So it just depends on the workflow you all need. You can either create your permits in your permitting module or within your inspection. Now, where we go from here is each plan review you want to document in the system, you're going to have to click on new plan review type and add it into the system. Same thing with your permit types. You're going to have to create your permit types in here. And then lastly, update your form so they're populating correctly. And if you want me to walk through that again, I can definitely add a plan review and add a permit type, and we can keep building off this if that would be beneficial for you all.
It might be helpful to do it another time.
Okay, which plan review would you like me to add in here?
Fire alarm.
And then we can come in here in the permit type, and now fire alarm and sprinkler potentially could be similar, but I'm just going to show the clone option here. And I'm just going to relabel this. Click clone, click confirm. It's going to create a copy of that permit type for you. And you can come in here and edit that permit. So let's say maybe it's not a project. It can now be a standalone, or maybe this is something you have to renew here. This is where you can customize it. You can even put those days on it. If the options here, question here, if you don't need that, you can always delete that off. Form here, you want to make sure it's on the right form. Make your changes in here and save it. But now you have that permit type. So when you go to issue it, go to issue a permit, you now have the ability to choose from your permit types. Now, where this is really going to tie into is your permit forms. I don't know if you're going to need one form with specific language in there or a form for each of your permit types, right? Do you want the fire alarm permit to populate on the fire alarm form that has specific language in there? Or are you going to be able to use one form? Because on the form here, if you've created custom questions, just going to click enter here to get a space. Under the plus, you can pull in your custom field here. And if you've created those custom data fields within the permit type, you can now pull that into this form if you need to. And that's where that 1-for-1 ratio, if you're going to use those custom data fields, they're going to have to populate on their specific form. Are you tracking me on that?
Yeah, I think we'll be able to get away with probably one form for everything that I can think of right now.
Okay. But that's how you can pull those custom data fields into the form if you need it.
Okay.
Would you like me to leave this in here, or do you want me to delete this out for you?
Yeah, you can delete it out.
6 dots, click delete twice, and it's gone. Because I see some departments, they want to have some specific language here, you know, based on the California code, blah, blah, blah. It spells out all the rules and regulations, you know, or this permit needs to be displayed, you know, things like that. That's where you can really customize this form to meet your needs when you're going to give out these permits. Make any changes, make sure you save it. And do you think you're going to use those custom data fields here in the permit, or should I just delete this out because I was just demonstrating on how it can work if you need it?
Delete it out for now. If we get to a point where we want to use them, we can add them back.
I like it. Let's keep it simple.
Yep.
Well, what can I, if you all give me a list of your permit types, I can start building out these permit types and add in your plan reuse. But if you all understand it, you know, getting some hands experience in here and working through this, you know, that's really going to benefit you all to build out this program. I have no problem helping you, but the clients that are really successful, you know, they're getting their hands in here and working on this stuff to get it set up correctly for your needs.
Yeah, we'll try to see if we can enter it ourselves. That way we can get used to the program, and if we have questions, we'll reach out if that works for you.
Absolutely. And is there anything else I can help you with these other modules that we've had meetings on? Any pending questions that, you know, you're just kind of hung up on and you're waiting for an answer? Anything I can assist you on those?
Not yet. We haven't had time to really dig into them.
Understood. And then, you know, I always want to help and set you up for success. Any additional inspection types that you were going to share with me that I needed to get built out, or a code list of codes you need in here?
Oh, I was supposed to get you the NFPA year, wasn't I?
Yeah, I think we talked about the 13s and 25 and 72. I just needed the year editions, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be nice to add all those in.
Yeah, we're just confirming what year the new 2025 is going to adopt, though.
Right.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, sir. You can always email me if that's best for you, but
Yeah, whatever you want. I can email you also if you want me to do that.
yeah, because the request was asked for the residential code and the building code. I did get those in there on top of
Okay.
what's in there. It's just those NFPAs, because once I know each year edition for, I think it was 13, 13D, 13R, 25, 72, I can get those loaded in.
Okay.
And then I just, yeah, go ahead.
While we're talking about this, does it automatically switch over to the 2025 January 1st, or is that something we have to have you switch us over to code edition year?
You know, I hope soon we get to that automation process, but we're going to have to load up the new 2025 codes once it's, you know, been approved. So
Yeah.
we're working on getting that data scraped. We don't have it yet, but we're
Okay.
getting close. So once we know for sure, we'll get it loaded in there and get it updated to the current year edition.
Okay.
Now, I can't remember on inspection types, were you all going to share some inspection types with me that you want me to build out, or were you going to get in here and build out those inspection types? So I remember, like, you're coming from Streamline, is it? You guys were having some issues exporting those checklists?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I was on that meeting, but I don't remember what the outcome of it was. I think Chad was going to look at exporting stuff, but I have not heard what the status is of that.
Yeah, because once I have those checklists, I can build them out in here and they'd be your inspection types. But I have to have, an example of each of your checklists, right, to be able to create that. And I remember us talking about it, but I think maybe a support ticket on that end was submitted to try to extract that data.
Yeah, two of the people that were involved with that are on this call right now. So let me do some research.
Yeah, and the only reason why I bring it up is, I want to help you all out, and I don't want anything to be pending on my end. So once I get it, I'll get working on it.
All right, so I'll get you info on inspection checklists and NFPA additions.
So yeah, so looks like it was shared here, which inspection types. The other option we have is I can look at some neighboring clients that they have their own inspection types. And if that would be the easiest for you all, I can import those inspection types.
That's a potential. If you could email us what they are first before we upload them, if that is that a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only working with Turlock, Modesto, Stanislaus, Consolidated, right? So they're all in your area, right? So I've been working with all of them on it, but if we wanted to look at, just say Stanislaus Consolidated. Here's their inspection types.
It's definitely going to be similar. Should be.
Right, and it's the fire service, right? We don't want to recreate the wheel. We could just borrow
No.
it from somebody else.
I'm not sure what some of those are, but the
Yeah.
IAPT, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and I want to say these were specific because they're a part of Modesto now, right? So or they're merging or something. I'm not sure on it, but if you all
Looks
see
like
something,
looks like apartments.
yeah, these are state mandated stuff. But if you want some of these, I can migrate them over into your account, and then you can work on those and edit them, and you can clone them, so it gives you a good foundation to start on.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Could you migrate them over and then we can just delete them if we don't use those?
Yep. Let me clean up my downloads folder here because for some reason I download a lot of these and upload. That was a joke on my end. So okay, let me are you all doing like citizens complaint or should I skip that?
Candace,
Sort
chime
of.
in here.
I think that'd be more of our weed abatement. I think is kind of more of
That's-
that one's.
That's why I want Candace to chime in and see if she could.
I'll just grab them and then you all can take a look at them.
Yeah, just grab them, move them over, and then we can delete what we know we don't want and modify the other ones accordingly.
You guys do schools, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Go to page 2. Grab these. And then I'll go back to your account. And then here in those inspection types, it'll just take me a minute here, but I'll get those uploaded for y'all. This will really help you all out. That way you can see what others are doing, and that you can build off this foundation here.
Okay.
Is Modesto's and Consolidated pretty much cloned, or are they different, or have you looked at them that close?
They're pretty much all cloned over. We started with Turlock and kept migrating over. So
I figured.
yeah. I think this one's going to air out because we already have an inspection labeled that way. You all can take credit and be like, look at all this work we got done in here. Now, just bear with me to get that fire and life safety one. I'm going to have to delete these. Well, wait a minute. I'm thinking that out loud. If I use my brain here, I can just make some changes on my end. You just change the name here. If I can beat the system here. You know what? I'm looking at their fire and life safety, and it looks very similar to this one that's in here. So I don't think they made much for changes. So I'm just not going to import that because you already have the one in here. That's really not going to benefit you now that I look at it. So let me check this other fire and life safety that they have, because this might be the one we really need. Yeah, I don't think they have a solid one. I can also look at another client that I've worked with a little while ago, Lathrop Manteca. Is that something you would like me to do and check out their inspection types?
Wouldn't hurt.
So for example, if you wanted like the weed abatement and you want their annual, but I can give you all these if you want.
Might be something we could.
You kind of faded out there and broke. What was that, sir?
I was just saying that draw off of. We missed something.
Okay, there we go. 20 inspection types have been loaded. I'll just open this weed abatement here. The good thing about it is if they had codes associated, that pulled in your system and the codes are associated. It's going to save you all a lot of time. Please verify that they associated the correct codes. And then you're going to need to customize these. Video Lathrop may not work for you. You can click edit, type over that, save it. But you can come in here and edit these. You're going to have to make sure under the forms you tell what you want to have show up, associate the correct form, the correct email. When do you want the code association to show up in the form? But these are now in here for you all to get your hands on and start working on them. See if these are going to work for you. You can always just come in here and edit them, right? Because they have codes associated. So this is going to save you a lot of time. But please make sure on their stuff, if you're not using the compliance engine, make sure you're editing it and removing that information, making these to fit your needs. But every one of these is going to need to be edited and updated if you're going to use them. Once you schedule an inspection, that's why this one up here does not have the trash can. You're not going to be able to delete it from the system. That's why these have trash cans, because there are no inspections scheduled on them. So you do have the ability to delete them from your account. Any questions on that?
I don't look like it saved us some time though.
Absolutely. Anything else I can do for y'all?
So if you delete something by mistake, is there any possible way to retrieve it?
Not you and I, but support can.
Thank you. And I did send you some screenshots from Estella, the permit that we use, and also a screenshot of the checklist from Streamline. If you would like to take a look at them in the chat.
Yeah, so for example, with the permits here, we have, I think we put in a fire alarm, but if you all wanted that permit to read as, alarm system, you can always just edit it, and we can just come in here if you prefer alarm system. You just come in here and edit and say, it's actually an alarm system. And then when you save it, now that would be your alarm system permit. You need to create one for explosives and blasting. Just click add, create it out. Doesn't look anything out of the ordinary here. And then let me look at those inspection types. It's like we have some of those covered with pulling those in. Get the last screenshot here. Oh yeah, defensible space. We actually have one of those. So if you guys would like a defensible space one that's actually broke up in your zones, I can pull that over for you.
I would say yes.
Yes, we need a defensible space one. It's something we're gonna have to start doing probably.
Yeah, what about AB 38 stuff?
Which I'm not familiar with that one. I probably am, but not with the number. Which what's it?
Is it high severity zone? And I can't remember the other one where when there's a resale of a property in those zones, Assembly Bill 38 requires a defensible space inspection.
Yeah, we've had one request for that. So
Let's go get those. So I imported that. Going to be on page 2. When you get into these inspection types, if you don't like it listed as California or however you want it listed, just type it over and save it, and it'll change that name. But this was created with the different zones. But you can come in here and customize and edit this, but this is going to give you all a great start to build off these inspection types and get this inspection module all set up. Now, where we go from here for permits, please add your plan reviews like we've talked about, build out your permit types, update, edit your form, do some practice permits. You'll get the recording from this. Then that leads us to the next call, which is the permit optimization call, right? You're going to get your hands on it. It's going to develop some questions. We can dive into it and straighten all that out on the next call. So would you all like me to pull up the calendar and we get that permit optimization call scheduled now?
Yeah, we can set up on this like another meeting.
How it works here, you pick the day, and then I'll open up the times. And since you all like to change your clocks here in a couple weeks, you're going to actually be an hour behind me. So when the time shows, subtract an hour off that to show your time.
Seems like the 18th is open for everybody.
Those are the times, and just remember it's 1 hour off for you all. So you're an hour behind me then.
Yeah, we have a staff meeting in the morning on Tuesdays, 8 to 9:30. So we can schedule it like 10:30, 11 maybe.
I don't have that time available.
Okay.
This is what's available for my calendar on that day. Other clients have already booked meetings.
Um, the following week on Tuesday, the 25th.
Other clients have taken up most of that day.
Seems like they're not leaving us any choice.
I know it's a busy time of year, and I have
Yeah, so
50 to 60 clients probably.
trying to scroll through the calendar. Sorry.
No worries. I'm just adding emails, so take your time.
Seems like my Outlook froze. I do apologize.
Hey, that's computers. I mean, look at AWS yesterday. There was all kinds of problems.
Started over again.
Sometime good old Outlook, you got to get out and refresh that thing and come back in. It needs a break.
I did. I closed it already.
Yeah, yeah. And then sometimes it just doesn't want to play at all. I know.
Yeah. Okay, if that's the last thing that we're doing, can we email you with the date and we follow up on this?
Oh yeah, you just want me
Yeah,
to send you
yeah,
a
I
link?
just-
Is that?
Yeah, I just don't want to keep you here just because our Outlook is not responding.
That's okay. I mean, it's only going to take a couple minutes, and I'll almost have all your emails added to this. So I'm not worried. If others need to drop, they can drop.
Yeah. But then you put the ball back there. I think we're gonna make this right.
I think I got you all added there.
I mean, that is one way to do it. You must leave 1, 2, 3, 5.
Greta Davis.
I do not have that email currently on the invite that I have in front of me. So
Would be gdavis@stanoes.com.
okay. I added that correctly?
G. Davis, yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's just by day, you know, like on the 26th, I have a lot of opening. You know, it just depends on the day. Some days I have
Which one,
some
26?
availability. Yeah,
26
pretty
you said?
open. Yeah, it's
Okay,
pretty
let's
open.
see. November? Yeah,
November
our guys have
26th.
inspections. Yeah, they have inspections in the morning till like 2 p.m. And by the time Shane gets back from his inspection from Oakdale, it's gonna be like 3 o'clock. So how long do we need for the meeting?
It takes an hour.
An hour.
Yeah, but any
And then
day that works for you.
Ivan takes off early, so he won't be available at that day. Let me see, November 26th, 27th.
I can just jump on remotely, Candace.
You want to do that? 26th? No, 26th. Greta and Chief are off on Fridays.
Oh yeah, disregard.
See.
Yeah, and if I miss anybody here, you always can forward that or add them to the invite just in case. But any
November
day you want me to
26th.
look at, you just let me
November
know.
26th should work if we start at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. your time,
Yes.
so that would be 3 my time.
Would that be too late for you guys?
Not for me.
On what day?
It's
November
Wednesday,
26th.
the 26th. The day before Thanksgiving.
Surprised no one's off.
If not, we can
No.
go
I
to
was
December
actually-
2nd, the following week. December 2nd is a Tuesday.
I was probably gonna take that one off.
This is only what I have available for December 2nd.
11 should work for us.
Okay, that would be 10 your time.
Yeah, should work.
Okay, so December 2nd, 10 o'clock your time, even though it shows 11 here. You ready for me to book it?
Yeah, let me confirm it with everybody else.
Can you just change the date if there's conflicts from our side?
Yeah, Candace can change it if she's the one managing it. All you have to do is reschedule it. You don't have to cancel the meeting on the invite. There's a little reschedule on there. You can reschedule it, pick a different date if needed. And it all pulls back into my calendar. So if it's that time's not available, it just means it's booked by other clients. So we good to book this here?
I'm good with the second.
Miss Candace?
Okay,
I'm
let's
good.
do this. Let's book it. And if there's any conflict or anything else, then we can change the date.
Okay.
As
I'm
of
gonna
right
book
now,
it.
our calendars are open, so nobody has any inspections, and our staff meeting is like 8 to 9:30. So by 11 o'clock, we should be back to the office, or we can just get to the meeting from our other office.
Okay, I'll book it. And then you
Perfect.
all
Thank
can
you so very
reschedule
much.
it. Oh, I added somebody twice in there.
Do we have Ivan?
Oh,
Ivan Vasquez, he's not there.
and that email is?
Let me find his email. Just one moment.
Good luck with that.
I think it's Alex's or Alex Vasquez. Let me find it. Just If I send him an email, it's gonna show me his email.
And if you want to just drop it in the chat so I get it correctly, I appreciate that.
Sure. Oh, come on.
There we go. Let me grab that.
Everything I know it's in there. On the purple line. Purple line's not there on the back.
And you have me twice.
Yeah, I took the second one of you out, and
Okay, so we have Chad, Ryan.
I'm sorry, I was moving it.
No, it's okay. So we have Chad, Ryan, Kim, me, Kim again. So we have two Kims, Kim Mello, Shane, Mark, Greta, and Chief Jenkins.
Wait, I did the ABC.
That's who we're missing, is Chief.
Yes. That's
Okay.
Mark Jacobs. So we need Matthew Jenkins.
Do you have the email, or you want to spell it out to me?
Would be mjenkins@stanoyes.com.
That look like I got it right?
And I don't know if you need to invite Chief Parnell. I don't think he needs to be. We should be good.
Can we, when we get invited to this, if we have other alternative invitees, we can just forward that invitation, can't we?
Absolutely.
Yep.
And you all should be receiving that email here shortly, since we get that meeting booked.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, and I'll
I
get you
did
the
ready.
recording on. Okay, great. And I'll get you the recording. It'll be in the Monday board, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next call. Have a
That
good
would
one.
be
Thank you, sir.
awesome. Thank you so much. Looking forward.
Yeah, you're welcome.